That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So we are here now in game number 2 of the undercard match this evening at the ESET UK Masters. It is, of course, a best of 5 between two up-and-comers in the UK scene. Are these guys absolute tip-top grandmasters that completely demolish people at DreamHacks and stuff? Well, no, not really. But they're on their way, and that's why we want to be able to showcase them for you here. In the top left-hand corner, playing on what appears to be a neutral Protoss mothership as the Blue Terran player representing Team Last Resort, ladies and gentlemen. He's currently 1-0 up. It is Simba. And his opponent spawning in the bottom left-hand position as the red Zerg. He represents Team Infused, an incredibly well-known and respected team. Let's see if he can claw one back, because he's at a bit of a deficit right now. We have Sabre.
Look at him being all Zergy and Zergy. Didn't really work out for him in the first game. Let's see if he's going to be switching up his strategy a little bit. He was being a little bit greedy there, grabbing a third base and not really saturating all of his bases yet, and then grabbing a Roach Warren, going for an early lair, going for double upgrades, everything at the same time. Hopefully he's going to be playing a bit more of a standard and a bit more passive style.
Yeah, we saw maybe just a little bit of overextending there in game number 1. Cost him, to be honest, the units that he needed to support his infestors leading into the latter half of that game. I mean, everyone on stream and yourself, of course, Lillian, saw that he had 2, 3, 4, 5. It sounded like an episode of Sesame Street towards the end, to be perfectly honest, with those infestors there, but he just didn't have the ground units to back them up. If only he did, he would have been able to hold that push.
You're right, yeah. I was trying to teach people something while casting StarCraft 2, and not in regards to StarCraft 2, but basic math and counting. That is something that should not be underestimated.
Infestors are terrible at teaching people counting, especially in Wings of Liberty, because you never get above 3. You get a clump of Marines moving towards the Zerg base, and then Infestors pop out of nowhere, and you go 1, 2, 3 fungos. Oh, and that's it. You can never count past 3. That's all you ever learn. It's a horrible educational experience.
No, that's wrong, Jorosar. Have you not seen the infested Terrans that they spew out? You know how many they can churn out of a single infestor? I think they're great for learning to count.
Maybe, but then, well, it's not really learning to count. That's more like learning to multiply. Like, if you can count them as they pop out of the infestors, you shouldn't be casting StarCraft. You should be, like, on a game show or something, because that's impressive.
Yeah, or one of those guys that does the auction things at, like, Storage Wars and stuff. You know, the guy that talks really fast, like...
Yeah. That's, they're basically all the guys that do that used to cast PvPs on Tal'Darim Malta. True story. Just 4-gate versus 4-gate. You just talk at the speed of light for 5 minutes and the game's over. That's how it worked. I used to love doing those. I'm actually a little bit sad we don't have them anymore. Non-stop acting is fun for talking.
It used to be such a classic. You knew exactly what was coming, and still it was sort of entertaining. I mean, it's a bit of a nostalgic feeling, of course. The games weren't really exciting. They were predictable. But it was fun, you know. It was this one constant thing that you...
Oh, yeah, the battles were exciting.
The battles were exciting.
Like, the strategy was like, here we go again. But then the battle starts, and even though it's a PvP, everyone gets really hyped up for it, because it all comes down to crazy micro and all sorts of fun things. But in the meantime, guys, we have actually got a little bit of strategy play on this game so far. Note that we are waiting for that factory to land on that reactor for Simba, and in the meantime, we did have Sabre take both of his gases, one in his main, one in the natural, a little bit early on. He's actually going straight for a 6.5-minute Roach Warren while taking a third.
Yeah, it seems to me like he's doing the same build as he did in the previous game. Gonna be taking a third and taking a Roach Warren, and if it is in fact the same build, we will see a lair out of him in just a matter of, you know, a couple of minutes, which doesn't really make that much sense to me. I mean, it is a bit of an early time to be getting roaches, but of course, roaches are going to be very, very valuable in defending against these incoming Hellions. So, yeah, I guess it's okay.
It's interesting, because he went for the Roach Warren, and now he's going back for Zergling speed as well. So, yeah, you're right. He's not actually spending that gas on layer tech. We do see the Hellions just going to try and prevent that creep threat for a while, but a Queen is going to keep them occupied. Not too big a deal. There's the layer that starts, and you're right, Lillian, it's a little bit of a weird timing, because you typically see a lot of Zerg players wanting to time their layer out so that they can get Glial Reconstitution and possibly maybe a +2 out straight away. But as we can see in this case, he actually used the minerals he got to go grab a third base. He used the gas he got to go back and get Zergling speed before anything else. The one advantage he does have, I would say, is that Simba has no idea a third base has been taken.
Oh, that's a little bit sloppy. I would have expected Simba to go and scout for that. He has no idea that there's roaches about to be on the field, and he has no idea about that third base either. And he's playing a very aggressive style, though. He's blindly going for some heavy pressure off of 2 bases. As you can see, there are 3 additional barracks going down, as well as tech into Banshees and Cloak. So we're going to see some very aggressive play out of her return here.
Yeah, that's right. Simba, so far, showing us a pretty good scoreline, of course, for his team Last Resort. Really showcasing them a little bit to the community today. Let's see if he can convert it to 2-0, or if Sabre is going to be able to bring one back, of course. It fused a very, very strong and well-respected team. We have got the first Banshee over here, looking to chill out with an Overlord. So he actually gave potentially a lot of time for Sabre to react, and that's exactly, oh god, why he walks it straight into the Spore Crawler. So the multitasking there left wanting just a little bit.
Yeah, that could have been done a little bit better, but that's alright. Of course, these players are no professionals just yet, and maybe they don't even have the ambition of becoming one. The game for the Zerg player has been... He's finally been able to play his own game. He's been able to do what he wanted. He wanted to get roaches, he wanted to drone up, he wanted to get a third base, and he's been able to do all that. In the last game, he was prevented of executing his own strategy. And this time around, it's looking a little bit better. In comes the Banshee again, though, for some more harassment. There's only one queen here, and she is not paying attention.
And the Spore Crawler is being moved now so that Sabre can have a bit of detection. But in the meantime, a lot of drones actually going down. Kills up to 5 on that Banshee and already maneuvering away from that Spore Crawler. Must be so frustrating. Oh, and the Spore Crawler is moving all the way to the other side, but that's because the second one is being built. Okay, so he's going to zone him out with a second Spore Crawler. But in the meantime, this is 9 kills and counting, Lillian.
Yeah, I think he's going to be able to get like 10, maybe even 11. Oh, move the Banshee, move the Banshee, move the Banshee, move the Banshee. Oh, Simba.
Oh, he's watching the roaches at the watchtower. Move the Hellions, move the Hellions, move the Hellions. I'm seeing the patterns in this game.
Let's do commentary for the rest of this game in that way. Like, move the roaches, move the Hellions, move the Marauders, move the... Okay.
Well, he's got +1 attack on the roaches complete. He's got Glial Constitution complete, and +1 armor is finishing now, and he's on 3 base. So all of those are really good things. It's just a weird timing. We're already at the 11-minute mark, so it's not exactly your trademark roach rush where you get Glial super quick and you head out. Instead, it's kind of a build that's turned into a macro build on 3 bases, and it looks like we're about to see an engagement.
Wow, we're actually going to see those roaches push in here, and Simba's not paying attention. He's not stimming or running back. Does he even have stim? No, stim is not yet finished up. This roach attack is devastating. Does Simba have enough Marauders here to be able to deal with this? Only a few Marauders left alive. SCVs being pulled into this, and they are definitely needed. The last Marauders are still standing. There's still 3 Marauders firing, and actually the roaches are going to get cleaned up, Jurosar.
It was one crucial micro mistake there from Zimpa. Let me take a look at how many workers were killed there. So 12 workers were killed in that attack. All of the roaches are now dead. The supply is currently 93 to 91 supply in favor of our Terran player, and the worker supply is approximately equal, 55 to 52 in favor of Sabre. But one thing that Simba could have done so much earlier, he sent the STVs from his natural immediately to go fight off the roaches, which fine, he was worried that he might lose the game. Stim wasn't finished yet, which it is now, of course. But he could have sent some of the SCVs to repair the bunker, and I think that would have slowed down Sabre significantly more.
Yeah, but all in all, I don't think Simba is in a bad position at all. I mean, he lost 10-ish workers for, what, 20 roaches? That's not even that bad of a trade, and he is still in a good economic position. He's actually in the lead. Our Terran player in a fantastic position, I would say, grabbing his third base. 26 roaches about to pop, though. He needs to be seriously careful that he doesn't just overextend and end up getting creamed by this force. You look at the number of roaches. He has to pick up and get away, and he does that straight away. Now, let's talk a little bit about what Sabre has done. I obviously don't think it was completely optimal to go for like the roach timing quite like this, because it looks like he's basically maxing out on roaches at the moment. What I would have liked to see him do off of that early third base, maybe, Lillian, is get his layer a bit sooner, maybe get a later Zergling speed, because he hasn't really done anything with Lings this game. He can get a quicker Glial, he can get a quicker infestation pit maybe, and have something to support these roaches. That would have been nice. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Either an amount
Whoa!
of
That is the ballsiest place to build a third command center I've ever seen in my life. And look at this. Remember what we were saying? We need to make sure that Simba doesn't overextend on the counterattack. He might have just done that. And I think it might give Sabre an opening to win this game.
Yeah, I think it might. The units are unloading from the medevacs. The SCV's being pulled once more. The siege tank was not in siege mode. Ooh, that's a bit of a mistake there.
Exactly. So 2 siege tanks going down here, and the amount of damage this is dealing to the economy of Simba is absolutely huge right now. I'm surprised he hung around the third base with all of those medevacs. What he needed to do was send those medevacs immediately back home, and then behind that, get 2 more bunkers up at his natural expansion. Now his third camp complete. There are more roaches piling on into the main, and the worker supply at the moment is 52 to 39. It's not looking great.
No, it's not looking great for a Terran player, but it's not over yet. He has another full medevac of units here. It's going to be unloading those, but more roaches come streaming in here. It might be too much. The units are dying as they pop out of production facilities. And I think this might be it for Simba. Like you said, Joes are overextending maybe a bit too far. His third base is getting cleaned up, and he just has nothing. GG smiley face coming out of Simba as Sabre ties up the series.